Yeah, it's interesting. I can't get my own phone. That sucks. Okay guys, I'm just going to wait like 5 minutes or so until the live stream starts on my phone so that I can have, there we go. That's better. So that I can have working chat. I'm just going to set the quality lower, because I don't need to see myself. Keep that, put this here so I can see chat while I'm working, hopefully. Yeah, that's interesting, I can't get my own phone. There you go, that's there. So this is the native Taulatin board that I had, and it works okay-ish. It has a big issue with a few things. Namely, it just doesn't like the 5-volt rail, so if you like load it heavily with stuff, and this machine just goes like completely unstable. But I'm going to need the processor out of here, so hopefully I don't snap this off. No, it went smoothly. Still quite a lot of awesome thermal paste on here. There you go, this board can get retired finally. So somewhere here, yeah it is. This is a slot kit. For those of you that don't know, it allows you to run a Taulatin CPU onto a normal motherboard. It's a PowerLeap IP3T. I hope that's the right way around for you guys. Yeah, it is. And it should work quite well. I'm not going to change the thermal paste on this quite yet, because this CPU is only temporary. So I need to go online and just check the jumpers on this. Will that fit? Yeah, that will fit. The whole point of this is just to see if it works. Afterwards I can retire this setup. That fits quite well. I've got a bit of a concern there, my clearance might not be 100%. So yeah. We'll get the jumper sorted shortly. I'm going to then transfer you guys over to the second screen, and then we'll have a look and see if we can get that sort of stuff sorted. So what's in the box? This is what I'm going to be replacing the system with. So I've got some IDE cables. That's going in my spare IDE bin. We have Pentium 3, I think it was. Let's see somewhere if this states it's what it is somewhere. Cooler Master, 450 megahertz, Pentium 3, 2 volts. And this is the main event. This is the the main reason why we're going to be working on this system. Let's see if my zoom works, because just now I didn't like zooming into the stuff. There we go, that works well. So memory, we're going to take all of this out because it's a mismatched pair. So I got this board for fairly cheap, 350 Rand. Okay, so the first stick there is 256 megabyte PC 133, that's awesome memory. Not that I know the company. So we've got one of these awesome Samsung sticks. This is a PC 100. I think this is a 128 meg. Some more 128 meg. Twin Moss, I don't know this brand. This goes into my collection of RAM that's quite literally overflowing. Way too much SDR RAM sticks in there. Okay, so for those of you at home and you've had a look at this, there's a clear giveaway of what this is. There is 4 sticks of RAM here. Okay, Intel 440px, freaking awesome, and it's a Gigabyte GA6BXE, so extremely stable motherboard. So I'm hoping with the slot kit it'll fit, because I'm scared of this heatsink here. Let's just see. That should clear it, just barely clear it. I'm hoping. Else we have to like organize a cool off some sort. But before we do that, so CPU ratio, that's going to get ignored. CPU clock rate 100 is off. Yeah, PCI clock 33 megahertz is what we want. This is at 133. So it does have a sort of a divider for the PCI clock, which is, it's nice. I'm just gonna grab my special anti-static brush. Let's just remove a little bit of my dust. So this is actually already set it up for this Taulatin. It's a 100 megahertz processor. And I think the actual jumpers there is set already for Taulatin anyway. So I hope this fits. Yes, that fits. It fits in barely. Oh man. Is it touching? Yes, it is actually touching the North Bridge, but that's fine. It's a bit of extra cooling. Oh, I hope the North Bridge doesn't overheat. But just look at this beauty. Beautiful. Double check this, because the ratio doesn't matter. So CPU clock is 5678, 5678, they're all off. Yeah, that's fine, that's 100 megahertz. So we have a clear CMOS there, and this one is not marked nicely. I guess we can figure out what that is as we get through it. There's one itty bitty jumper there, which is normal is 1, 2, turbo is 300 megahertz. I'll just keep that at turbo. Okay, so open sensor right there. And I think this is good to go. Really little modification was needed to get this. Okay, so let's get the main event here, and let's get my old system and go through that. This is sexy, isn't it? That's sexy. Now fair warning, you guys are probably going to be grossed out a little bit. But I'm in KZN and everything gets this thin coating of like dust and eventually like mold settles on it. So this whole case I'm going to be cleaning out. Whew. Okay, let's zoom out for you. Just, I can't really take that in any closer without. There we go, I think that will do. So this is going to get washed off because it has that thin coating of stuff, and I suppose it looks like dog pee. And I don't have a dog. I don't have a male dog. Unless there's a male cat that comes in. Nonetheless, that's going to get washed off. Because seriously, that's just gross. Okay, we're in. So I need the RAM out of here. Because I know this RAM is super good. It's a set of Kingstons, 133 megahertz. Now this motherboard has been modded to the extreme. I've done quite a bit of work on it. And you'll notice that for starters it's running SATA for the hard drives. That's going to go out. And I think that's partly why I had so much problems. And I'll run down the mods and stuff that I've done to this board as I'm removing it. Let's start off by getting a star screwdriver instead of a flat. I mean that's a good start, isn't it? Yeah, let's start off with the non-discrete cards. I'll move over to the awesome stuff later. So this is something that you don't normally see in these computers. It's a D-Link wireless card. And that actually works phenomenally well in Windows 95. It's a D-Link DWA 520. I've got the drivers somewhere here, and I'll just reinstall the drivers when we get to it. And it has Windows 95 drivers, and it has VPA2 support. Next up, this is the main thing that I think has been causing me a lot of the compatibility problems. Now you'll notice something strange. It's a SATA controller. It's a VRVT642TA. But you'll notice something weird with it. It doesn't have a BIOS chip. This card, when I got it, had a fake BIOS chip, and it doesn't have a BIOS at all flashed to the card. So if you stick this into any computer, Windows will detect the actual hard drives that you're trying to use, and it'll install drivers. But it won't run the software and the stuff. It won't boot up if you've got it as a main hard drive trying to boot the system, because it needs a BIOS to do so. And this just doesn't have it. So I need to make space for all of this stuff. Then over here, sound card. This is a Sound Blaster AWE64. And finally, this is the main event. If I remove this cable, gently, as gently as you can. That is a Voodoo 5500. I guess I can push you guys a bit further that way. There you go. Now this I need to keep safe. These things are retailing for exorbitant amounts of money at the moment. No sane person can afford one. I'm fairly sure this motherboard, somewhere in its lifetime, someone recapped it. I certainly didn't. I used quality caps though. Has an internal USB header, which is nice. I hope that I can get that with the other board working at least, even though it's only going to be like USB 1. Disconnect this fan, make my life slightly easier. Disconnect the power here. And at the bottom of this is a pin modded Taulatin processor, which is very, very nice. So this is a 8-bit motherboard. Oh, what model are you? It doesn't have AX34. That's a decent board. It's actually kept me well, but it's not stable. It's not as good as it should be. Really, especially for like an everyday system. I'm gonna stick this one on top here. Still have not decided what I'm going to do with that. And then we can rip out these two hard drives. A lot of people say turn the drive that way around to do cable management, but if you do, you've only got one screw that holds the hard drive in, so I've never personally liked doing that. That has always been problematic for me. So the reason why I'm saying this is a downgrade is because the other system is a 1400 1400 megahertz Taulatin, the other one is a 1400 megahertz Celeron. So it's a bit slower, and I'm going to get another proper Taulatin CPU for that slot kit, because my word, it deserves it. $80GB SATA working. This was 120 gig if I'm not mistaken. 164 gigabytes. That's another reason why I probably had issues on the system. But you live and you learn. Out of the saltons and in with the IDEs. Let me walk here and just get that out quickly. I think this drive still works. This is 120 gigabyte Seagate that I'm hoping still works. If it doesn't work, I'll use an IDE to start off. What's interesting is how am I going to find power for this? Oh, there's a power cord there. It should reach. Let's make my life easier by just snipping a power cord quickly. Let's see, snaps, snaps, snaps. So why is it always, if you're looking for a set of snips, it's like right at the bottom of your pile? These aren't great, but they'll do. I do have a few extension cables still floating around, but for now, let's see if we can get this one. No, that's not going to fit. Or is it? Yeah, if I give it some love, it might. Nope. Okay, I'll have to sort that out afterwards. Change that over to slave. Let's just fit that. Alright, let's first put in 2 screws there. Then we'll just fit the motherboard. Should go in no problems. We've got a comment. Good morning. Nice to see Taulatin board system. Quite a nice Windows 98 gaming, I reckon. Yeah, that it is. That it is. Sorry, my phone that I was using to read comments has decided it's switching off. Okay, so let's test fit this motherboard quickly. This thing does not have any USBs. I'm going to have to stick a USB card in there. It has internal USBs but no external header to like add more. But of a board this age, spare, because of course it does. Let's get rid of that. Can still reach there. Holes are absolutely exactly where they need to be. I wonder where my actual Molex is on this computer. It doesn't have a lot of Molex. It has a lot of SATA power connectors. Interesting. That might be a problem on further down the line, because I don't want to drain too much from the CD-ROM one and the other one, but what I can do is I can connect it here to the hard drive. Because if a CPU and a hard drive share a connector, who cares? Okay, just hang on a second guys, I'm just going to turn on the fan. Sweet, has some ISO ports, sound bars no doubt. You're 100% right, Lactose. I'm going to have a dual boot. Triple boot actually, so it's going to be DOS, Windows 98 or ME, I'm not sure which yet. I might just do ME just to troll people, because there's really nothing wrong with ME. If you really want to be just like upset and hating people just for the sake of hating them, and I guess ME is terrible, but there's nothing wrong with ME. ME works for me, it's never given me any problems. Okay, it's on. Let's get this good Kingston's back in here again. These are two 256 meg modules. Just want to double check power fan, and that is CPU fan. It's on top there, which is great. On that side of the connector. So this is normally for the graphics card that I added. So let's have a look, see what the one for the PC looks like. I think it is a pass-through cable. Yes, it is. So I might just change this up a little bit. that ain't going to reach unless I like stick it. No, it will reach. If I stick this down here like such, or let's do it up here. Or let me share the GPU with the, yeah, that's not a terrible idea. What else does this go to? It goes to a floppy drive. Too keen on sharing this adapter between too many things. So take that one out. This used to go to that fan connector. I don't need that anymore. That'll work. So then we just take this. Use that for the hard drive. The only problem with these Molexes is aligning them, but that one aligned well. Gave me a little bit extra that I needed for the hard drive. It fits in like that. That's nice and snug. Looks great too. So floppy disk drive, CD-ROM and CPU are going to share a slot now. Nope, I'm still one short if I do that. So let's have this one that, and then the other one. How are we going to do this? Should I dedicate this one for the CPU? Which isn't a bad idea, because then we'll have less noise and then run all the peripherals from that, which I think I should be able to do. Oh, cable management. Oh, there's another Molex like hidden at the back. Okay, that actually makes my life a lot easier, because then I can use this, stick that there, and solve the problem. So hard drive and CPU. I don't like that, because your hard drive will be working a lot. CPU does have some regulation and stuff to counteract that. Are we going to use that? Not sure yet, not sure. But I think that's going to be probably the best bet. Let's try it. If I get like instabilities, I know why. Stick that back down there. This one can go there as well. Of course, all of this I will need to nut personally myself afterwards. Here we go. There's my little gaffer. There we go. But modern cases, they don't have many Molex. So all this I'll have to neaten up, but I can do that in a later video. I don't have to do it and bore you guys to death. Right, so primary IDE. Floppy disk drive. This looks a bit ugly, so I'll probably route this differently. Come on, out you go. Take this, keep it at the bottom. Keeping it at the bottom. This probably introduces way more noise, but who cares? Take this way. Keep that there. There we go. Some cable management. If I stick this at the bottom of there like that, that's not too bad. That's a lot better. Okay. Let's stick these in. I'll drive LED. Speaker cable, which I actually run this PC speaker through the sound card. Power switch. I don't know what PPPPP is. Okay, reset switch. Oh, that's a power LED. That's him. Okay, that looks good. I guess we can start sticking add-in cards back in again. So let's do it reverse order. Sound card. So you were right when you said good eyes a sound card. This is the AWE64. To be precise, I think it's the AWE64 Lite because it doesn't have the chrome at the end, but it's a good card nonetheless. Next up, I'm not going to do the SATA anymore in this system. I'll keep the 3G, Wi-Fi, because that is tremendously useful to have a network connection without dragging a LAN cable. So I'm going to need two back plates, blanking plates, which I don't have at hand. of course. And then finally the piece de la resistance. Where is that? Voodoo 5500. Ah, there it is. Now I haven't tested this motherboard yet, but I got it from a seller that I really trust. I've gotten a lot of stuff from this seller before, and he has never given me something that was dodgy. So I don't see any reason to test it. Right, let's see if I can find 2 blanking plates by some miracle. Nope. I wish there was like a constant supply of blanking plates that I could get somewhere. That would be great. Right, so that's everything. I'm going to probably stop the stream here and then start streaming again when I install the OS, which will be in a minute or two. And I have to set up for that. Everything here looks the way I expect it to. It looks fine. Just it's a pity I don't have the blanking plates, because like now there's like secret moisture that was on the side of this case that shouldn't be there. Can't figure out where that's coming from. I'm fairly sure it's one of the neighbor's cats coming in and marking the place. So I'll see you guys in about half an hour.